Hello, welcome to another story time. Today, in this story time, we're going to be going over the ninth Star Wars movie. This one is called, um, Rise of Skywalker. Yep. And basically, it starts with, how does Okay, so it starts with this guy named Kylo Ren, and he's all angry and stuff. He's like, boom, boom, he's killing all these people, and then he finds this thing called a Wayfinder. And as when he picks it up, he like puts it in his ship, and then he kind of like, so if this is ship, no, so this is big ship, okay? This is like big ship. He like flies out, and he flies somewhere, and then he flies to like this like red thing, this like red dust, and he goes in and he's like nyum 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 nyum, and he like gets out and he hyperscape or hyper whatever out, and then he's like at this new planet, and then it's super cool, and then it's all like lightning, and the lightning's like or something like that, or it's like something like that, yeah. Um, and when it goes near, it's like gets all light, and because it's kind of dark, but like not too dark, you can still see. Oh, also, he has his lightsaber. And he's like angry, like he has an angry look, and then he hears some. He's like inside, and he hears someone, and he's like, "Oh, I can kill you. I killed Snoke because he killed Snoke." Um, so then he's like, "Oh, I made Snoke," and he's like, "Hold up, what?" And he's like, "I've been every single voice in your head," and he's like, "Oh, you're powerful," and he's like, "Yeah, but I'm really weak." Um, and he's like, kill this person, and you get like ship," and he's like, "Ooh, I want that." Um. And so he goes out, and then it cuts to, and then he's like, wait, but who is Rey? And then Emperor Palpatine's like, and then it cuts to a new thing. Um, and then basically it's so they're flying again. They're flying in the Millennium Falcon. Rey's not there, and they're like going. Oh, it's Poe, Finn, C3PO, BB-8, Chewbacca. I think that's it. Okay, so they're flying and they go to this place, and then oh yeah, and there's like some weird slug thing. So they're going to this place, and then huh? Oh, he's just kind of like there. He doesn't do anything. He's just there. Not really. I didn't really like him. He was just taking up room. You know, he was like big. He was like as big as this carpet. He was kind of just like, huh? He was just oblivious. Um, and basically, he like, uh, he's flying. Oh no, yeah, and then they open up a hatch, and this guy's like, "Hey, here's some secret intel," and he like plugs into R2. Oh shoot, R2's there too, R2D2. I forgot to mention that. Um, and basically, so then they see TIE fighters coming, and they're like, "Nyur, nyur." Okay, and when that's happening, the so yeah, and they're like, hurry, and then R2's like, done, and then they're like, okay, we're going, and they leave, and they do something cool where they like shoot down these things. Okay, so they're like in a really tight space like this, and then there's like something here, and then they're like here, and then if they realize that they shoot the thing here, then they can just swoop under it, but it'll fall because they're on a planet, so there's gravity, and then all the TIE fighters would go boom and run into it. Um, but something that they don't realize. Oh, yeah, but there's like a lot more TIE fighters. So here's the cool part, alright, about this whole thing is they're like, and then he's like hyperdrive, and he hyperdrives and just appears in a random location, and he's like, okay, hyperdrive, and I appear in another location, and they're like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm like hyperdrive skipping or whatever. And they're like, well, you can't do that. The Millennium Falcon can't do that. And he's like, well, now it can. Oh, and they're doing it, and then they kind of do it a couple times. Both, but now it can. And so basically, yeah, so they did it, and they managed to escape, and the whole thing's on fire, and they land. Oh, before that though, there's this person named Ray, okay, and she's kind of training. She talks to this person named Leia, and she's like, I'm gonna go train, and Leia's like, okay, and she goes train, and then there's like a little thing like this, except they'll shoot at him.
It used to.
Okay. And so he's like, they're running around, and the thing's shooting at her. She's like, deflecting it. And then she does like this obstacle course where like she climbs something, and then gets something, and then grabs something, and then runs with something, and then she gets shot, and she's like, okay, now I'm mad. So she's like, where is it? Hold on.
Who's that thing?
There it is. Okay,
Bar?
That's
alcohol.
I'm really mad at you now. And then she tries to take a swipe, but she just like completely misses. She's like this. Bam. 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 And it just keeps shooting her. And she's like, stay still. Without even hitting it. And she's, I don't know. Kind of weird. Oh, shoot. Wait, before that, though. Before that, like, way before. She's also like meditating, and like rocks are floating around her. Okay. But without the noise. And and there's like, yeah, or she's floating. She's like in the sky, pretty high in the sky. Okay. Yeah, like even high. And so then she's like, be with me, and then she's like, it's not with me, and I guess that's when the audience is supposed to be like, ha ha ha, that's funny, comedy, funny, yeah. No. It wasn't, I mean, I guess you could find it fun, but it was kind of like a forced thing. Like, she wasn't talking to anyone. It's like, have you ever seen Disney Channel? Or like anything where people were like, or like any show, and then they'd walk through a room and be like, oh, I left my shoes in that room, and then it'd have like a fake audience go, ha 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 ha, and it's not funny. It's kind of like that, but without the fake audience. You're supposed to be the audience, and you are the audience. But yeah. So then, basically, shoot, where was I? Oh yeah. So then she like does the obstacle course. She gets really mad and starts attacking the thing, and then she cuts down like a bunch of trees, and then she does this really cool thing that I found really cool, where what she does is she takes her lightsaber and she like throws it, and like she uses a staff, and she's like bang bang and kills it and like stabs it across the tree, but like the lightsaber's kind of just like flying around. Like, hold on, I got it, I can do it, okay, maybe I can't. It's like flying around and like chopping down trees, and one lands on the BB-8 person, and then she's like, oh, my bad. Oh, also, like, she gets his force vision or whatever, but it's not that important because I'm just gonna go over what the vision is later. So I'll just tell you that then. So yeah, then basically she's like running. Oh, yeah, and then like some person's like, oh, and then she's like, I quit. And then she like walks back, and then some person's like, the Millennium Falcon's back, and she's like, the Falcon? I gotta go get that. Well, not get that. I gotta go say. Yeah. Okay. Good idea. Um. Wait. Where? What? Okay. You know. Uh, yeah. Okay. So the Falcon is back, and yeah, so the Falcon is back, and then they get off, and then Ray and Poe are like arguing. They're like, "What'd you do with the ship?" And they're like, "What'd you do with the droid?" Because a tree fell on him. And she's like, "No, tell me about the ship." And he's like, "No, tell me about the droid." And they're like, "You're difficult. You're difficult." I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I mean, it was cool. I don't know what it was supposed to show. It was kind of just there. Um, no one. Then Finn came over and then was like, Ray! That's all he kind of says the whole movie. Just, Ray! Okay. Um, and then Poe goes to like BB-8 and he's like, what did she do to you? And then like Ray and Poe, not Poe, Finn, like talk about something. I forget. It's not that important. It's kind of just like, how are you? Oh, I'm good. We haven't seen you in a while. Um, and they're like, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so basically, then they are like, oh yeah, yeah. So this like whole message gets broadcasted around like the whole, uh, the whole, the whole place, and or like around the whole galaxy, and it's basically saying the Emperor's back. You should bow to him, and then um so yeah, that's kind of, and she's like, "What? The Emperor's back. We have to go kill him." So they go and they try to find the only way to get there, which is the thing called a wayfinder. And to get, there's only two. Okay, and to get that, the only other one's on the secret place. I don't know where it is. You don't know where it is unless you watched it. Um, so basically, they're like, uh, oh, I gotta go find it alone. And they're like, yep, alone, but with friends. And she's like, okay, but not really. She like tries to tell them no, but they don't listen. Um, so yeah, they hop on and they're going off. Goofy fun adventure. Where'd they go? Oh yeah, they go to like this place. Where'd my hand go? Mishi, can you see my hand? Where'd my hand go? My hand disappeared. Dude, where'd my hand? Found it. Okay. It got chopped off. Oh wait, that's not a sword. It got chopped off. Okay, so oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That way, in case people forget who I am. Okay, so I guess I'll also continue. So then they go on this goofy fun adventure to this cool goofy place that's called what? Yay. They go to this goofy fun adventure to this goofy fun place called Desert Planet. Okay, like the third desert planet. Um, or something like that. I don't know. And they go there and it's like this festival and they're like, "Oh man, this festival only happens like every 40 years. What terrible timing." And C-3PO's like, "No, that was good timing because like it's like, and then they go there and something happened. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is like how they would dance too. They were like, "Boo, boo, boo, boo," and I just Yeah. Mm-hmm. You get it now? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So then they go and then Kylo Ren, he's like, "Where are you?" And she's like, "Not gonna tell you." Oh, but before that, before that, um, basically, they oh yeah. This person, one of the like villagers there, is like, take a necklace. So like they go up and then put a necklace around her, um, and she's like, thanks. But then she's like, is that is that uh is that Kylo Ren? That's his name. They're like, is that Kylo Ren? And then it's Kylo Ren. He's like, where are you? And she's like, I'm not gonna tell you. And he's like, oh, I know who your parents are. And she's like, oh, okay, tell me. And he's like, okay, no, not yet. But when we do meet, you're gonna turn to my side. And she's like, well, I don't know, man. And, so then she's like, okay, no, I think she like, no, she doesn't. I think she just like keeps cool. Okay. And then he like grabs her like necklace and he's like, "Oh, so this is where you are." And then like they get it analyzed and then this officer's like, "Kylo Ren, they're here." And he's like, "Okay, we're going here now." And then she's like, "We what?" Yeah, and he took it. Oh, wait, I forgot how. So basically, the way he took it is because they were like doing like a force FaceTime, but like in real life. So basically, imagine I'm in my player house, okay, and you stay right here, and then I'd be like Mishi, or whoever's watching. I'd be like your name here, and then you turn around. I'd be like, hi, I'm here, but I only see you in my player house. Where are you? And then I'd be able to, if you like say these bottles, say you accidentally knock one over, it will then appear in my area, and then I'd be like, oh, you're in the tavern. So yeah, and that's how we because 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 okay, so you're still in your, so you kind of come to my oh no, you stay in your area, and it looks like I come to your area, but I stay in my area, and it looks like you come to my area. But say I'm at my player house, okay, and I accidentally turn over something. Say I break the glass on the dragon thing, then the glass now appears in your area. Makes sense? Yeah, or in the flooded rainforest. That's a good point. Okay, but so yeah, shoot, where was I? Oh my god. Uh, he knows where Ray is. So then the stormtrooper is like, so yeah, they're walking over, and the stormtrooper is like, hey, freeze! And then this like crossbow gets shot, and then he dies, and then they're like, who was that? And this guy's like, follow me. And then they follow him into like this little house that moves. It's like on an animal or something. And here's the crazy part. You ready? They're like, who are you? And then guess who it is. You'll never believe it, Mishi. Or whoever's watching. Guess. No, it's not Rupert. But it's Lando Calrissian. Yeah. This person from the old times. Back in his day, there was an empire. Yeah, he's like this person from the original trilogy, um, and he's like back now. Yeah, So he's back, and he's like, hey, and then they're like, oh no, there's a lot of TIE fighters, we probably gotta go now, because we don't want this, like, whole festival to get bombed. So they run away, they steal some speeders, and then the speeders chase them now, like the First Order, that's the bad guy, the First Order chases them, and, they, like, they're speeders, so they're like, okay, and then that happens is, so they're on their speeder like this, and then they go, whoa. The First Order does, because the back part kind of goes up, and because these people are on the back and they have jetpacks, so they go, and they're like Iron Man. They fly around. They're like this. They're so they're like flying around and stuff now. And they have a gun, and they're like, pew, pew, pew. Yeah, there's C-3PO. They like go through a little tiny tunnel, and then 3CPO's like, oh man, we lost him. Good job, sir. And then, the like, the guy who's flying is like, pew, pew, and he's like, terrible job. He's mad now. He's like, what? Um, and so yeah, so he's like all freaking out, and BB-8 is like, Ray, look at me, and then Ray's like, no, haha, you're a droid, and then BB-8 saves their lives because he like taps on this canister that it then explodes, but it like explodes on the First Order, and they can't see because it's like a canister of like paint, like spray paint. They're like, they can fly now. They can fly now? They can fly now. Okay, so they all kind of just acknowledged it. But like with a bit more enthusiasm. Because, you know, it's kind of like a life or death situation for them, but not for me, because I was in my house the whole time. So yeah, then they are like, they can fly now. Okay, yeah. And then they get to the ship, and they're like, "Oh, look, there's the ship." And when I first saw it, I was wondering like, why has no one stolen that ship yet? You know, that would, if I was going to that planet and I found a ship just lying there, I would be like, well, I could probably steal something from it or not, especially because it's been there for a million years. It feels like it's been there for a while. Okay, I mean, I wouldn't. What? Yeah. Okay. Pretend this is the ship. Alright, no, pretend this is the ship. Like, this is all the stuff. I'm gonna be like, huh? Oh, this ship's been here for a while. Let me, boom, boom. I'm on, for me, I'm probably like up here, but for me, I'm on the ground. Okay, so just pretend I'm on the ground for this. So, boom, 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 boom. Ha, ha, ha. I got a plate, and then I run. So yeah, that's how I would do it. How would you do it? Ah, makes sense. Um, so basically, um, you know the part where, oh yeah, okay, so they're like, oh yay, we won, and then this is literally what happens. They're like, oh yay, we won. Um, So yeah, they're like, we won, and then they're like, hey, is this black sand? Why are we sinking? Huh? So yeah, and then they sink. Okay, so they go all the way down to these caverns, all the way down. That's a pretty deep drop. Um, and they're like, "Ooh, what made all these holes? Like, there's hole there," and they're like, "I don't want to know." And C-3PO's like, "Oh, well, it's," and they're like, "I don't want to know." Um, yeah, it is pretty important, but they're like, they don't want to know. Okay, and they're kind of just walking around trying to find an exit. But first they're like, "Oh shoot, wait, is that a skeleton? Oh shoot, that's the people who owned that ship, skeleton. That's why they didn't get their ship back and fly away." And they look down, and there's like this little piece of like dagger on it, like on the ground. So and it's like laying here, like that. And they're like, let me recreate this. Let me go over here. So they're like, "Oh man, dagger." And they kind of sneak up on it. And they're like, "Let me dust this off." They pick it up. And they're like, and Rey picks it up. And she's like, "Ooh, it's been terrible things." When her lightsaber that she has killed like millions of younglings. I don't get. I don't get what this dagger done. That's even worse than her own lightsaber. He's like, um, then, okay, yeah, and then there's like snake comes, and they're all like, a snake that's pretty, like it's a big snake, so they're all like, "Freeze, snake," and the snake is like big, it's like all the way up there, and they're like, "Freeze," and then Rey's like, "Oh, put down your blasters," and they're like, "Okay, if you say so." Boom, boom, boom. Um, and so then she kind of walks up to the snake and she's like, "Ooh, calm down." And the snake kind of calms down. There's like this big cut on the snake, so she just walks up to the snake's like, "Heal," and it heals. Um, so yeah, she kind of, or no, she like just boom, like that, like not karate chop, but like a karate chop, but as if you, instead of using like this part of your hand, using like the bare part of your hand, like bam, and it heals up, and the snake is like, "Oh, thank you," and it leaves. Um, and then behind the snake is the way out, so they get out, and then they're on the ship, and they're getting ready to leave. Okay, I'm telling you, they're literally one button and they're out of there. But Ray is like, you know what would be pretty funny? If I just walk out and they're like, "Okay, Ray, you have the force, so this obvious," or and then what's his name is like Finn, he's like, okay, we actually have to go now. Chewie, go like tell her. And Chewie walks out and he's like, that's my Chewbacca impression. That's the best I'll do. So he's like, and then it like shows these like evil guys behind him, and then they're like boom, 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 and then it cuts to then Ray, and then it's Kylo Ren in his car, but that's a ship. I'm gonna run into you, and then she ignites her lightsaber, and it is kind of cool. She's like, huh? Okay, yeah. So pretend that you're the TIE fighter, okay? So you're gonna come towards me, and I'll act like what they do. So she's like, boom, and then you're gonna come towards me, and she's like, "I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna run away." And then just like, and then wait, the TIE fighter comes over here. So come over here, and then it's like, jumps over it, and cuts it. And then with her lightsaber. So, I don't know how that looked there, but did I like fly up? Yeah, let's do it one more time. Okay. Ready? Okay, go, 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 go. Wait, where are you? Mishi, where are you? I lost you. Hold on. Okay, yeah, you're there. Okay, okay. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Okay, go, go, go. And then, no. Where'd you go? There you are. So yeah, did I fly up? Yeah. So, but when she also flew up, she did like a backflip and cut the thing, and then the TIE fighter's like, wee, boom, and it explodes, and she's like, okay, and then Chewie's getting like captured. They're like, get in there, and to like a ship, and then Finn comes out and he says his iconic line, Ray, and then she's like, huh? And then he's like, they got Chewie. And then he's like, okay, I'm just gonna use the Force. Boom! And she's like trying to pull it back towards her. She's like, roar. And then she sees Kylo come out, and Kylo is kind of like, boom, boom, boom. Because I'm cool, because he just survived a crash. Yeah, he survived the crash. And I'm like, oh. Yeah, it did explode, but I mean, I'm kind of glad he survived because he's like, cool. No, he's not even injured. He did have a helmet. Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. I forgot something at the very beginning of the movie that I forgot. Basically, what happened was you know, so you know how that he went to Exegol. Yeah, he also got a mask. This time it had red things on it. Cool, right? Yeah. So now he has this like sick looking mask. Oh, also there's a spy in the First Order. Um I probably should mention that, but it's okay. Spy in the First Order. No, no, Kylo's good bad guy right now. Like someone turned into good guy. Who? You'll have to wait and find out. Okay. 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 So then the new thing that happens is what happens? Oh, I forget. Um and shoot, where was I? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So they're like forcing it, and then Kylo's like, "Hold on, if you're gonna force it, I'm gonna force it." So pretend it's the ship. They're like, "Whoa," and then Rey's like, "Okay," and then like Kylo's winning. So then Rey's like, "Okay, now I'm gonna win," and she pulls harder, and then Kylo's like, "Hold on, I'm gonna pull harder." She's gonna pull harder, and then he pulls harder, and she's like, boom, and shoots lightning at it. It goes, and it explodes, and she's like, "Oh my god, I just killed Chewbacca." And then, um, what's his name? Finn. It's just Finn was kind of just standing there watching the whole time, and he was like, kinda, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then and then and then after he says Ray, then he goes, Chewbacca. And then they kind of like all run onto the ship and fly away. I forget what happened. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Then I think, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, so Chewbacca also had that dagger thing, and C-3PO couldn't read it because it was written in Sith, and he wasn't programmed to read Sith. Like he could read it, but he couldn't say it. Because that went like away from his because his like programming just wouldn't allow it. He's a robot, Robo Man. Um, so then he was like, yeah, the only way is if like you mess with my brain, but I'd like delete my memory. And they're like, oh, we'll do that. So they go to a planet, and oh yeah, so the dagger's gone. So the only way they can do it is to get into C-3PO's memory and make him say it, because he has it stored in his memory because he was able to read it. And so yeah, they fly on, not on the Millennium Falcon, on that new ship that I said that literally anyone could have stole. Like, do they not have car keys? I was so confused. So yeah, so they fly away. It's a new planet, and then the First Order is all there, like, you be good citizen, huh? You be good citizen, but I just am angry. Die, and that kind of and then they're kind of like hiding around, and they're like, "Follow me," says Poe, and then they're going, and then this person's like, "Hey, Poe, you remember me? I'm the person from your backstory." And he's like, "No, not my backstory." And they're like, "Yeah, your backstory." And then, yeah, he like smuggled spice. But then he left to join the resistance, and they're like, "You smuggled spice?" And he's like, "What? Yeah." Um, and they're like, "Oh, I mean, that's kind of like illegal." So, you know, just a tad bit illegal. Like, they'd steal spice and then give it to, you know? Oh no, just, is it? I don't know. Um, but yeah, so then they go into a place, and he's like, "Hey, can I speak to DiGiorno?" I forget his name. It's like Dabu DiGiorno, something like that. Do you remember Mishi? Little, yeah, Babu Frick, not DiGiorno. Um, so Babu, he's like, "There's Babu Frick here," and she's like, "Yeah, but he's only for crew members." And then he's like, and then they like kill him, but then Ray is like, "Wait, I have the Force," and kind of just bonks him on the head, like bonk. And then they kind of, I think she like kills four out of them, and then leaves like the main one. And then she's like, "Oh man, you're cool," and she's like, "Thanks." And even though he literally just killed everyone, and what? But anyways, um, basically, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think they're just friends. Um, yeah, it's like a girl thing. And yeah, exactly like that. See, Mishi, you know what I'm talking about. And then basically, they like go to this house, but it's like a futuristic house, but like punk style. Like if you didn't have any money, but you could still afford a house, you know? So then like they like, "Babu Frick, tell me bling blue blob," and like, "Tell me what this Sith thing," and she's like, "Who are you hanging out with that read Sith?" And he's like, "I'll tell you later." I don't think he ever tells her. Um, and so yeah, then Babu Frick does all these thingies, and he's like, beep boop bob 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 bob. I don't know. He has his own language. Oh yeah, yeah. So he's about the size of Rupert, or the Rupert, this one, not the big one. Um, and so yeah, and he has like furry must or beard, but not long beard. And imagine an alien, a cute one, but not that cute. One that like you wouldn't want to have as a pet, but if you saw it, you wouldn't be grossed out. Yeah. So so he's like, and then, just in case you guys forgot, when C-3PO goes through this, he won't be able to remember anything. Um, so Babu Frick is like, droid, go, boom. And that makes 3PO scared, and they're doing it, and then it's like about to be night, and that's like when something bad happens. I think like just everyone gets like weird at night. I don't know. So the main person of like the gang is like, I'm gonna go keep watch, that way I don't die. And then Poe is like, okay, I'll go keep watch too because I don't trust you. And they kind of talk on the roof, and she's like, I have this medallion that'll let me get through any blockade or land on any ship. I don't know why I told you that. And then, she's like, I'm gonna run away. And he's like, cool. And she's like, come with me. And he's like, no. And then they make 3PO say, like, whatever was inscribed. It was like, like, hey, go to Exegol, something about Death Star, something about the knife being a map, something about dead Death Star, something like that, okay? And, so it's kinda just, kinda happening, and then he goes back to normal, and he's like, oh, hello, I'm a human size, something, Blade. He is? Okay, I'll give you my best British. Hey guys, my human cyborg relations always speak over a million languages. So, what can I do for you today? And then they're like, okay, let's go. And he's like, oh, what? That's rude. We just met. And, they go on a ship. And, because Kylo now knows they're there somehow. I forget. Oh, I remember. You remember that thing where he grabbed the necklace from her? Yeah, and then that's how. So he does that thing again. So he takes out that's a gun. So he does the thing again, and he basically like provokes Rey, and Rey's like, "Hoo-ah!" and goes beep, 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 beep. But she has terrible aim, so she like misses. And then Kylo's like, boop, boop, bop, bop, and just like easily deflects them. She's like, beam, 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 beam. Yeah. No. Even though, like, people think that's how it goes, but if you watch it, like, I literally watched it 30 minutes ago, you can easily tell that Kylo is just like, Rey would go, "Ah," and Kylo just, like, moves, and then she, like, misses completely, and then he kinda is just toying with her. He's, like, easily doing it. Like, if he wanted, he could literally just go bink, bonk, and she dies. But no, he's kind of just deflecting everything. But looking super cool while doing it. And then oh, oh, this is way in the future. Oh, hmm. Okay, so let's just pretend I didn't say that yet. Okay, so 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 they're gonna leave because the First Order spies actually now know that they're there because they've been spotted, and they're gonna go. And then Chewbacca's alive. I forgot to tell you, Chewbacca's alive, and they figure it out because Rey senses him on the ship. Okay, and yeah, so Rey is like, we gotta go save him because yeah, and so the main leader of the gang is like, hey Poe, take this medallion, officer medallion, and get you aboard the ship. And he's like, no, and she's like, yes, and he's like, okay. So they take it and they put it in the ship and they land. And then they kill everything that they see, and then they're walking through, and then Rey is like, and these stormtroopers are like, free, please. And then she's like, you want us here. You're glad that we're here. Tell us where Chewie is and his stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, it's right down that way. So they go down. And then they go like Poe and Finn go to save Chewie, and Rey's like, oh, I gotta go get the Wayfinder because of the Force. So yeah, they go get the Wayfinder. Oh, not the Wayfinder. I'm talking about the knife, the little knife. It's like not this big. It's like this big. Yeah. Like we gotta go get it. So she gets it, and then that's when Rey is like, "Where are you?" And then like when it looks like it looks for Rey, like Kylo's in the place, in her place, and for Kylo it looks like Rey is in his place. He's on the planet. It's not okay. So pretend I'm in my player house. Okay, and then we did this like Force thing. For me, it looked like you're in my player house. For you, it looked like I'm in the tavern. Easy, right? Easy. Okay. So then, basically, they go out and they like have a duel, and then Rey accidentally attacks on like a podium holding Darth Vader's mask, and he's like, "Oh, that's where you're on. You're on my ship." Well, that's embarrassing. So then he's like, "Rawr, you're on my ship. Let's go get him." And then they're running away, and then what's his name? So yeah, they get Chewie, and they all try to run. Rey's not there though. Rey's also trying to get to the ship. Already, and they are like running away because the stormtroopers, or yeah, something like that, are right behind them. So they're like, pew, 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 like stay away. And then they get surrounded. So they're like, okay, we're do whatever, and they're like, take them to be executed. And then they're about to be executed. They're all like lined up, and the stormtroopers like, and then this guy, one of the officers, I forget his name, he's like, I want to kill him. It's the officer from the other two movies. That's like the main officer. Him, yep, General Hux. Okay, and General Hux is like, I'm gonna do it, and they hear blaster fire, but he actually kills the stormtroopers. Okay, and it's not. No, I'm pretty sure he was. Okay. His finger slipped. Okay. He didn't mean to show. He was aiming at the people, but then he slips on a banana and accidentally shoots the stormtroopers. But it. So. So. So actually, what happens is he's about to kill him, but Chewie does a triple backflip, lands on Hux, shoots him in the leg, hits the stormtroopers, and is like, take me to my ship. And he's like, okay, if you're able to do that, we're gonna go take you to the ship. Okay? Really what happened. No, he's a traitor. I mean... So then these like, so they're running, and they're like, there's your ship, but shoot me in the arm. And they're like, huh? And it's like, well, if you don't shoot me, then it looks like I just gave you the ship, so shoot me. And he's like, okay. Wait, what? No, this is literally what happens, I promise. Yeah, and then he like, wait, did you say I rewrite it, or I have to rewrite it? Oh, okay. So he's like, he's like, shoot me in the arm. And then Finn's like, okay. But really, he takes his musketeer class, he takes a damage orb, and he shoots him in the leg. And he's like, ow. And then takes a poison orb and shoots him in the head. And he's like, ow. And he takes another orb and he shoots him again. And then again. And then heals him, but only partially. Um, and then he's like on a cane walking back to this new person, and not that new, but kind of new, like new for the movie, but not like, yeah. So he's like, yeah, they like tricked me and stuff, and then, the guy was like, oh, okay, send a message to Kylo. And then he picks up a weapon and turns to Hux and is like, you're a traitor, boom! And he dies. And then it cuts over to Rey. So they like get on so they get on the Millennium Falcon, and Rey's like at their other ship, like the ship that they got there on. And then Kylo is like this. You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? You ready? Stay right there. Stay right there. Okay, stay right there. So yeah. Boom! I've been expecting you. Oh, I came out of nowhere. Ooh, I'm cool. And then Ray's like, uh-oh, what am I gonna do? And then, um, what's its name? Ben, or not Ben, Ray, no, not Ray either. What's his name? Kylo, that's his name. Kylo's like, join me. I got cookies. And she's like, oh? And then the Millennium Falcon's like, hey, Ray, we're over here. Come on in. And she's like, okay. And jumps in. Okay. And, she's like now in it, and they fly away. And then something else happens. What time is it? So yeah, they fly away. And, oh my god, it's been an hour. Uh, So they jump in, they fly away, and I know what you're wondering happens next. All right, it's crazy. Okay, you'll never believe what happens next. You, oh my god, it's like craziest thing ever. Crazy, 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 crazy. They go back to their base. Okay, they go back to the base, and now that they're at the base, they're like, we need to attack him. Yeah, we need to kill the Emperor. Yeah. So that's exactly what they're gonna plan to do. They're like, how do we do it? And then it's like, easy. We just gonna find people who to help us. And they're like, well, sounds good to me. And that's kind of what they do. They kind of. So, oh, no, 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 no. That happens later in the story. I forgot the whole part on how they even know where the Emperor is. Oh, silly me. So, Rey kinda, um, now, so they don't have landing gear, and so they crash land at Endor, because that's where the, knife told them to go. So, they're at Endor, and they find this like the Death Star, the exploded Death Star. Okay, and yeah, so they found the exploded Death Star. Yeah, yeah, the original. Oh, no, I think it's the second Death Star. It's whatever one was above Endor. I think that's the second one. Yeah, the second one. So yeah, it's like it's all destroyed. Like it's not in one piece anymore, obviously. Um, so it's like all wavy. It's like a big. It's like it's in like a ocean, a big wavy ocean, and I literally hate it because I hate the ocean, especially when there's big waves like that. So I kind of got scared. But I'm a big man, so I watched it. Um, and basically, Oh God, what happens? Oh yeah, so then these people come and they're like, "Hey, yeah, we can get you over there, but you have to wait till the water dies down because it's scary." And they're all like, "Okay," but Ray's like, "No, I'm stubborn. I'm not gonna wait." So she doesn't wait, and then it turns out that all those other people are also ex-stormtroopers like Finn, which is kind of cool, I guess. Um, so okay, yeah, 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 yeah. How do I use this? Okay. Come over here. Pretend that okay. Pretend that these two barrels are my thing. I like their controls. She's like, boom, boom, and there's like a big wave, and it's huge, bigger than this room. And she's like, and then she like, huh? Have I ever driven one? Oh no, but she has a force on her side. Don't worry. Yeah, it's like, yeah, yeah. I mean, she's always using the force. That's how like she drives. Like the force isn't just, hey, you over there. I'm gonna pull you towards me, or I'm gonna push you way away. It's also like the reason why they have lightsabers is because they're the only people who have lightsabers. Is also because it increases their senses, or like their sense danger, which is why when they're swinging around the lightsaber, they're not cutting themselves, is because they like have improved danger sense. So their like senses for danger are like no. And like it's also like how Anakin, when he was like really young, how he was able to drive that pod racer. It's not because he was good at it, it's because he would use the force. Or for like Luke, like how he was able to drive the X-wing so well is because he used the Force. Same thing with his like little car thing, but that doesn't count. He's out. Anyone could drive that. Um, but yeah, so she climbs all the way to the top, um, to the Emperor's throne room. So it's a pretty cool scene because it was the Emperor's throne room, and you haven't seen that in a while. Um, and she walks in, and then this door opens up next to the throne, like the throne. And this is the part that got me, and I was like, "Hold on, that was not there when they built the Death Star, the second Death Star." Because if you go back, because like no, not 3, like 5 days ago, I watched the original to the sixth movie. And if you look closely, what happens is that part, like when so it shows a camera view of the throne room from like the top angle, like from space view, and it's like, okay, how do I put this? Imagine like a T, okay? Imagine a T and a stick sticking up from it. So it's like a T stick, you know? Um, yeah, like a, or no, like a plus sign. Imagine a plus sign. Okay, it's like this, you see? And then, like, but imagine that like this, and then like a stick poking up, like connecting it. That's what the throne room looks like. But for whatever reason, though, also, so imagine I'm on the throne. Okay, actually, let's go up to my throne. Okay, so imagine I'm on the Emperor's throne, okay? And in the sixth movie, to the right is a window. In the ninth movie, there's a door. And in the sixth movie, it also explodes. So it's not like while Vader and when Vader and Luke were fighting, it's not like these people were just like, let me install this in like 20 minutes. This whole nother room. And that room is huge. It leads to more. It did not make sense. Okay. But anyway, she goes into the room, and She kind of is like creeping around. She's like, ooh, and then this person there's like it looks like her, but a dark side her. And she has like a lightsaber here, but a lightsaber here. She turns them on, and it goes, and like connects to her side. So it has like a double bladed lightsaber. So then they fight, and she's like, and the dark side Rey's like, oh, you're gonna become me regardless. Just like do it. And then Rey's like, no. And then they like go back out to the throne room, and then she drops it. Okay, and then the evil Rey appears, and then Kylo is like, hey, that's the. Oh, did I mention she found the Wayfinder in that same place where she fought? Yeah, yeah, she finds it. She grabs it. She's like, wow. Okay, and yeah, and then she drops it, and then Kylo was like, "Ooh, look what I found!" And then Rey's like, "Give it back," and he's like, "Hmm." She's like, "Give it back," and she literally just says, "Give it back." Well, not those exact lines, but she basically just says, "Give it back," over and over, and Kylo is like, "No, no, but I got it now, haha." And then she's like, "Give it back," and he's like, "No, the only way you can get anywhere is with me now," and breaks it, and she's like. And then Kylo literally just goes boom, 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 and just dodges them. And then he goes and then one of my favorite parts of the whole movie happens here. Okay, so they're fighting, and then he drops down off the throne room. So they're fighting in the broken throne room, and then he drops down, and there's like a hole in the floor that he jumps into. When he jumps up into the hole, he jumps up and then clicks his shoes and then falls. So if you ever watched it, just watch the part when they're in the throne room, and then Kylo is just like he like jumps up, but when he jumps, his like he clicks his shoes, and it's super funny. I don't know why they made him do that, but it was funny. No, it does. Search it up if you don't believe me. Like, just search up that fight and the moment, and I love it because he's like here, and he jumps off, and then he clicks his shoes, and then he falls. It's so funny. Um, oh yeah, okay. Then she follows because she's all mad. And then they're like having a fight. They're like, bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Oh, well, that was interesting. Huh. Maybe I can lure this. Anyways, Kylo's just like bing, 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 easily dodging it. He's obviously winning. And then the people, the Egg Stormtrooper and Finn are like, they're like, uh, 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 oh yeah, they're like, oh, there's another boat we can just take and get her. So that like happened a bit a while ago while they're and like before the fight. So then they find them fighting, and then this like huge wave comes. Literally, I don't. Are you? Who's opening my inventory? Okay, I gotta hurry this up because I gotta eat. Okay, so they're fighting, and then so yeah, they're fighting, and then they jump. Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. So the big wave comes, and then they're like, "Big wave, we're just gonna get pushed off." Because they're also kind of like on a narrow thing. Not that narrow. It's about from that end to that thing. So like it's not that narrow. Like they could walk around a bit, but it was like they could fall into the water. Um, and they're fighting, and the big wave comes, and then Rey does this huge horse jump, and then it's actually really cool because the reason she's able to make that jump is because she's letting the dark side use her and stuff. Um, but here's the thing, okay? Come here, come here. My time is up. There will be a part 2 soon. Part 2 soon.